ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम, सुप्रभातम। We will chant from the 25th verse Shatrau Mitre after the first one. भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति डुःकृङ्करणी। शत्रौ मित्रे पुत्रे बन्धौ मा कुरु यत्नं विग्रहसन्धौ सर्वस्मिन्नपि पश्यात्मानं सर्वत्रोत्सृज भेदाज्ञानं। कामं क्रोधं लोभं मोहं त्यक्त्वात्मानं पश्यति सोऽहम्। आत्मज्ञानविहीना मूढाः ते पच्यन्ते नरकनिगूढाः। गेयं गीता नाम सहस्रं ध्येयं श्रीपतिरूपमजस्रं। नेयं सज्जनसङ्गे चित्तं देयं दीनजनाय च वित्तं। भज गोविन्दं भज गोविन्दं गोविन्दं भज मूढमते। सम्प्राप्ते सन्निहिते काले नहि नहि रक्षति डुःकृङ्करणी। Parayanam, Upasanam, Satsangaha and Danam. 4 very important spiritual practices are being prescribed by the Acharya here. Bhagavad Gita Nama Sahasram Parayanam Kuryat. One has to chant with all Sharira Mana Buddhi integrated. It is not that like people chant Vishnu Sahasranamam walking here and there, talking to people in between, mobile, watching TV. All these are an insult to Bhagavan. Please note this very carefully. The very important purpose of chanting is Chitta Ekagrata. And to chant while doing so many chores of every day is an insult to Bhagavan. Now, there are 2 important points here. One is, when I am doing the Parayana as a practice, as a sadhana, then one has to sit in a place, Sharira Mana Buddhi, Ekagrata has to be followed, and then Parayanam has to be done. Then another way of looking at it is, now people take excuse of this. This is where I strongly condemned, I may say. Why? What is the excuse? Swamiji, you have told me all the time mind has to be connected with the Lord. Therefore, whatever I do so. I chant. Good. Acceptable. But doing that with so many distractions and not doing it as a sadhana is what is condemned. Therefore, kinchit. That is why that word very beautifully says Bhagavad Gita Nama. Earlier we saw Bhagavad Gita Kinchidadhita. So sit for some time of the day. 24 hours are too long a period for a day required. Honestly, it is our weakness to say that I am too busy and I have no time. If we have no time for Bhagavan, who has given us this time of life, then of what purpose is intelligence to us? Therefore, Parayanam Kuryat. Dhyayam Shri Pati Rupam Ajasram. Think of Bhagavan's Divya Rupa. Keep it in your mind and only focus on that mind. Sit at least 10 minutes a day thinking of Bhagavan and the Rupa of Bhagavan alone. Again, Rupa of Bhagavan is an alambana. It is only a support, a nimitta karanam for the mind to stay tuned with the Supreme Self. Neyam sajjana sange chittam. The chittam, the mind and intellect, must be tuned to the teachings of sajjana, wise people. Wise people need not be only the Guru Parampara and sannyasis or saints. Even elders who are teaching us something good in life has to be listened to with an equal amount of dedication and devotion. Reason? For everything there is a scientific, logical, intellectual, rational reason. Why do we apply a tilaka? Why do we ring a bell in the temple or at home, ghantanadaha? Why do we do pradakshina? Why do we do namaskara to elders? Why do we fold both the hands like this? Today the whole world is doing it, thanks to Corona. Think. They have realized the importance of namaskara. Of course, that out of fear, no doubt. But they are also thinking about the glory of the Bharatiya Sanskriti. Everything has got a reason. Why do we do Parisheshanam, the Brahmin section? They do Parisheshanam before eating food. Why should they do it? Why is Tulasi plant glorious? Beautiful reasons, logical and scientific, rational and intellectual is being given in our Shastra. I would recommend a very beautiful book released by Chinmaya Mission called In Indian Culture, Why Do We? With the 3 dots and a question mark. And the book in the rear cover has given what are all the questions which are answered inside the book. It is like a very beautiful manual which every house must have. Because we do so many practices, but we have no understanding of those practices. This is why Satsanga is required. And finally, Satsanga is very important for us to know what is the purpose of this life. And the fourth, these 3 we saw yesterday, the fourth one is Deyam. What is Deyam? Vittam Deenajanaya Deyam. Whatever extra I am blessed with, it is given to me to give. Please note. Anything and everything that is given to me more than my requirement and comfort is for giving to the needy people, to the people who have not. And especially now, many people have realized the importance of sharing. We should not take only Corona as an example. Corona is something which has come and which will go. With the vaccines which have already been introduced, Corona will go. But I have to do something. What is that? Whatever is required for my comfortable living, what I have legitimately earned. Keep whatever required. Minimum requirement is required. Okay, little more extra. That's why I said comfortable living. But more than that, what I have is given for Dhanam. Right? The second important point in Dhanam is man's mind is suffocatingly selfish. We are so selfish that we want anything and everything we have. We want anything and everything we see. We want anything and everything which I can grab, acquire, possess. This is the nature of human mind. To get over this wrong nature, to get over this wrong attitude, the best method is give it away. Param Pujya Gurudev very beautifully says, give it away. If money cannot give you that happiness what you are thinking of, then money is waste. Give it away. Why? Because those who do not have even for the sake of survival, or those who require money for good purposes, give it away. All our mind should be in keeping what is required alone. Otherwise, the suffocating selfishness will want to grab everything, and that will also lead for wrong practices for acquiring and possessing. Therefore, give it away. Deyam Dina Janaya. So many people don't have even 2 meals a day. Suffering children don't have proper nutritious milk to drink. It is not that we don't know. It is not that we don't see it, we see it. But we have our own justification. A beggar who comes in front of my vehicle at a signal, we blame him. Kaikal channagide. Your hands and legs are very good. Go and work. What are we going to give? 1 rupee. Think. Now this attitude will restrict me from giving. What happens to that person is his karma phala. He has to exercise his will, and he has to face the results of his own action. How does it matter to me? Think. The problem here is I am giving reasons for not giving. Oh, Swamiji, it is not like that. We have developed somberi people because of giving. Are 1 rupee? Think. No, this is only an example. It is not that your thinking is wrong. I wouldn't not worry to find out whether you are thinking correctly or rightly, and big logic I don't want to take up for that small petty action. The idea here is give. So, to overcome this selfishness, one has to give. Third point. When people keep acquiring and possessing, accumulating and aggrandizing all the wealth in the world, the have-nots will not be able to even have 2 square meals a day. When they cannot survive properly, then we are giving them room to get into wrong practices of stealing. Therefore, to bring a proper balance in the society and economy, it is very important, even logically, even from the Laukika standpoint, to offer, to give. Therefore, give it away. Continuing, Sukhatah kriyate Rama bhogah paschadhanta sharire rogah yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi namunchati papacharanam. Sukhatah kriyate Rama bhogah paschadhanta sharire rogah yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi namunchati papacharanam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam bhaja mudhamate. When yadyapi loke maranam sharanam, when every being meets the fatal end of life, even at that period of time, in fact, the point here is we all are aware, that is the most important point. We all are aware that we all have to die one day. Whether you like it or not, want it or not, believe it or not, accept it or not, we have to die. Maranam sharanam. Maranam sharanam meaning what? When I surrender at the feet of Kala, I cannot take anything with me. Not even one single nanyam. Not even a grain of sand can I take when I die. And death is something which there is no guarantee what time it will come, what time it will go. It will come, take me and go away, finished. And no rhyme or reason, ruthlessly. That is why Yama is called as Dharmaraja. You cannot bribe him. You can bribe anybody in the world outside for anything you want, but you cannot bribe Yamadharmaraja. That is why he is called Dharmaraja. He has no concessions for others. He just works according to the proper rule of Maranam. How big you are, how small you are, how wealthy you are, how poor you are, how beautiful you are, how terrible looking you are, nothing matters. Whether you are a unicellular organism or the complex of creation, the human being, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter for him. He will come, he will take you. Ram Naam Satya hai. Therefore, when this is the truth of life, what are we trying to acquire and possess? Think. Loke yadyapi maranam sharanam, but so unfortunate, so pitiable is tadapi namunchati papacharanam. Even then, our sinful activities namunchati. Think, why are we doing that? Sukataha kriyate, for the sake of pleasure. What? Rama bhogaha. People indulge in Rama bhogaha. Here there are two meanings. One is saints and sages indulging in the pleasure of Rama, which is the supreme. The second is Rama is Ramate. Ramate here is what? Enjoying. In what? Bhoga. In petty, paltry pleasures of things and beings of life. Sukataha kriyate. I indulge in my activity for the sake of pleasure. Paschat, later, sharire rogaha hantaha. Now, when I unintelligently, irresponsible attitude and irresistible way of eating everything. Eating, when I say, not only with the mouth, with all the sense organs. Unintelligently, when I indulge in Rama Bhoga, Paschat Sharire Rogaha Hanti. This Sharira, after some time. Now see, very important part is, when let us take the example of all the junk food we eat. Right example, because everybody eats. Junk food, we go on eating from morning till we go to sleep and keep a few, because in between if I get up I can eat. I might be exaggerating, but it may not be something which is not happening in the world outside. Go on eating. Vaishvanara Agni works over time. When Vaishvanara Agni, it's a very important point, please be attentive. When Vaishvanara Agni works over time, he becomes weaker at the early stage. All kinds of diseases, roga, is only because we are giving overtime work to that Vaishvanara Agni. By what? By eating irresistibly and unintelligently. This applies to all the sense organs, please. Paschat Sharire Rogahanti, the diseases kill us. In fact, if the life goes away, then it is over. There is nothing to talk about it. It is over. But it will not kill us like that also. What will it do? Rogahanti. The diseases will kill you every day. In our family, everybody can eat beautiful rasgullas, jamun, jalebi, jangri, everything, and I am very fond of all of them, but I cannot touch them. Wife says, don't even look this side, turn the other side. Other side, somebody else will be sitting and eating. You see in the front, somebody else is eating. Here, somebody else is eating. And it is more a punishment than anything. Therefore, don't indulge. At the same time, it doesn't mean that don't deny and throw it away. Take what as much is required and then leave it there. Yadyapi loke maranam sharanam. Acharya says, how pitiable. Here, the weakness of mankind and the mind is very beautifully depicted. It is nothing but the mind's weakness which leads to addictions. And the moment it leads to addictions, what happens is I suffer. Therefore, take care is the call. Continuing. Arthamanartham bhavaya nityam nasti tatas sukhalesha satyam putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi sarvatraisha vihitaritihi arthamanartham bhavaya nityam nasti tatas sukhalesha satyam putradapi dhana bhajam bhitihi sarvatraisha vihitaritihi bhaja govindam govindam bhaja mudhamate. This thought has already been told very clearly. Mudha jahihi dhanagama trishnam kuru sadbuddhim manasi vitrishnam. It was said earlier. Same thought is again repeated. Swamiji, why is a repetition? Because still we don't understand. Even after learning Bhagavad Gita, even after learning Bhaja Govindam, even after learning Tattva Bodha, even after learning Dhanyashtakam, Success Chalisa, Chariot of so many, same thoughts are given. Still, Nodi Swami, Navirode hige, as it is told in Kannada. What is that? In Kannada, one more. Nai bala don't care. It is that. Meaning, the tail, how much ever you try to straighten it, it will only swirl itself. See? Artham. Artham means wealth. Here, wealth is not the sadhana created wealth. This is money. Common wealth. Artham nityam anartham bhavaya. Wealth will only lead to anartham, which is calamity. Calamity what? Physically, emotionally and intellectually. Physical calamity we just saw. Maranam, sharanam, rogam. Physical calamity. Emotional calamity, desperateness to enjoy and embrace all the pleasures of the world. Intellectual calamity is absence of rational thinking and promoting the desires. Therefore, anartham bhavaya. Tataha, there, leshaha sukham nasti. Not even an iota of actual sukham is there in that. It appears to give pleasure. By the time you actually enjoy and experience the pleasure, you see that it is disappeared. Bhavasukhe doshaha anusandhiyatam, Acharya said. What is a dosha? It is impermanent. When I indulge and engross myself when it is there, when it is not there, I have to suffer and it will not be there permanently. Therefore, there is no point. What is called here? Putradapi dhanabhajam bhitihi. Bhiti means there is fear. From whom? Putradapi. To whom? Dhanabhajam. People who are rich are scared of their own sons. Daughters included. Why? Who knows? For the sake of gaining the ancestral property, they might go to the extent of even killing the parents. We not only see these in movies, we also see it in life. Therefore, what is the point in gaining more and more and more and more in wealth and then suffering to protect it? Fearing for its security. There is no point. That is why Acharya said, Kaupinavantaha khalu bhagyavantaha. The one who has nothing is the most happiest person. If you understand what that nothing is. Nothing is required. Karatala bhrikshas tarutala vasaha. We saw. Think. Sarvatresha ritihi vihita. Sarvatresha, everywhere this is the case. What? Wherever there is wealth, there is bhayam. Wherever there is wealth, there is insecurity. Therefore, to secure that, we want one security, and he is a more terrible person. He himself will kill you and take it away. So, why have the material wealth and suffer for the rest of the time? And we are worried, after my death, what will happen to all this? Once you die, it is over, topic is over, chapter closed. So why should you worry and go? Happily go without, holding on to things. Tyagena eke amritattva manashuhu. Upanishads are very categorical and clear. Therefore, don't hold on to anything. Having said that, Acharya now gives beautiful 6-point program. How can I come out of it? How can I be happy? Acharya gives 6-point program. What is that? Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya viveka vicharam Jabhyasameta samadhi vidhanam kurvavadhanam mahadavadhanam pranayamam pratyaharam nitya viveka vicharam Jabhyasameta samadhi vidhanam kurvavadhanam mahadavadhanam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. What are the 6-point program? The first one is pranayamam, breath control. Control of the breath will also control the mind. Shamaha is indicated through this word pranayamam. Whenever we are disturbed, very many people advise. For this, no big sadhana, no big sannyasi, no big guru tattva, etc. is required. Simple logic. Whenever I am disturbed, everybody say, sit quietly for some time. Is it not? What is that sitting quietly? Quietly, instead of desperately worrying on the subject matter, sit quiet. Take deep breath. Restrict your breath with proper rhythm. When I thus inhale and exhale, for some time quietly sitting at one place, close my eyes, forget the world. When I quietly maintain my silence, when I quietly, consciously focus on my breathing, it helps my system and it also helps quietening of the mind. Shama is indicated physical and mental health. This is the beautiful, unique contribution of our Bharatiya Samskriti in the form of yoga to the whole world. Simple activity, great results. Svalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato abhayat, says Gita. It is not only svalpamapyasya dharmasya, it can apply everywhere. Eating also, svalpamapyasya. Eating little will give good health. Go on eating. Oyyo Rama. Think. Pranayama. That is expressed in the next word, pratyaharam. What is pratyaharam? Damaha. While pranayamam indicates shamaha, pratyaharam indicates damaha, indriya nigraha. Indriya nigraha means what? Absolute mastery over my indriyas, so that I don't lose myself. I won't become a slave to the petty pleasures of life. Pratyaharam. And third one is enquiry. Nitya anitya viveka vicharam. For this, satsang is very important and indicates uparamaha. We are talking of the sixfold qualifications: Shama, Dama, Uparama, Tidiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. Shraddha is required for Japya Sameta. Japa sadhana requires Shraddha. If I have to have Japa, my mind comes together. I focus on one Ishtadevata. And mantra japa is very popular. Mantra japa will bring lot of quietude to the mind and love for God. This love for God can take away all other petty, paltry, so-called love what we have for things and beings. Why are they becoming important? Is because we don't have love for God. When all my ability to love is directed towards God, then nothing more is important. On the other day, we had discussed on one example. When the Surya Kirana comes up, when Surya is there, in that light of Surya, all the other stars which do exist becomes irrelevant. Similarly, if I can develop love for God to such an extent, the love for petty things will be irrelevant even though they may be there. Therefore, develop love for God through what? Japa and Samadhi. Samadhi is what? Absorption into that very knowledge of the Supreme. And absorption into that Supreme is called Samadhi. Samadhi does not mean the grave. Samadhi here is Samadhihi. And then in this vidhanam, in this way, kurvavadhanam. Kurvavadhanam means please be committed to such spiritual practices. Problem with us is, we want to do all this, but we are not committed. How many of us tell, Swamiji, all these things I want to do, Swamiji, but somehow I am not able to get up in the morning. Why? Commitment to sleep is more than commitment to japa. Think. Priorities. Set your priorities and be firm. Be alert. Mahadavadhanam. What is Mahadavadhanam? Being alert and vigilant and having my commitment completely intact. To what? For all these practices. Therefore, constant alertness. Yacharago tamma yacharago. There is a very beautiful song. Maybe I have not thought about it. It's just coming up. Another occasion we will take up that song. In fact, that song is worth taking as an independent talk. We will try that. Maritu neenu malagabeda yacharago. Like that, very beautiful song. We will take it as a one-day satsang on that. So wake up. Mahadavadhanam is what? Be alert. Be vigilant. Be conscious. Be committed to these sadhanas. Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha and Samadhanam. This is the call of the Acharya in this shloka. Continuing. Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Samsarada Chirad Bhava Muktaha Sendriya Manasa Niyamadevam Drakshyasi Nijahdayastham Devam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate Samprapte Sannihite Kale Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukrinj Karani. Two very important general disciplines concludes this beautiful text. One is the necessity of a spiritual teacher, a guide. However we may have grown, how much ever we may have learned, a guru is required until the last moment. That is why even in PhD, if you have to do, you require a guide. Without a guide, you can't do a doctorate either. Therefore, importance of a spiritual master to guide the mind. The mind has been beautifully tamed, yes. With all the sadhanas given in all the texts, what we have seen and what we are yet to see, there are so many guidance given, but how much have we taken it into our practice to keep us in the path again and again, to pull us into the path when we get distracted? A guru is very important. Therefore, Guru Ambuja Charana. Ambuja Charana means what? The lotus feet of a guru. Extremely important, please. Why? Guru's feet represents the knowledge on which he stands. That is why we do Paduka Puja regularly. Very important. Nirbhara Bhaktaha. Bhaktaha, devotee, not just claiming himself to be devotee. Swamiji, I also do namaskara every day to Guru Paduka Puja. Every day I clean and keep flowers. Every day I touch it to my eyes. All these are wasteful exercises if we are not following his teaching. Think. Nirbhara Bhakta, the one who has completely surrendered at the feet of Guru, which represents knowledge. The one who has committed himself to gaining the supreme knowledge. Samsarat achirat bhavamuktaha. Muktaha, he is completely freed from all sorts of fear. Abhayam pratishtham vindate athaso bhayam gato bhavati. Upanishad says, for him who has taken to the feet of Guru and who has rejected the samsara because he has understood the truth behind, for him abhayam, fearlessness, is his way of life. Atha bhayam gato bhavati. Fear never enters the hall of a seeker who has surrendered at the feet of Guru. Sendriya manasa niyamadevam. Sa indriya and manasa niyamat. Niyamat meaning what? Disciplined senses, disciplined mind. The one who has committed himself to Shama and Dama. Evam drakshasi. Only then you can see what? Devam. Who is the Devam here? Parabrahma Swarupa Paramatma. Now where is he? Nija Hridayastham. He is very much in me, in my own little heart. He alone lives. There is no other thing which is there in me. Parabrahma Swarupa Paramatma Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram Ahamahamiti Sakshat Atma Rupena Bhati. He is there in me. I have not recognized him like one old person sitting in the house in a corner. We don't even respect that person. But that person is the one who has experience and who can guide me for the success, be it sacred or secular. Hridaya Kuhara Madhye Antarbahishcha Tatsarvam Vyapya Narayana Sthitaha. There, Bahishcha Antar is not said. First and foremost, Antar. He is there in me. Where am I searching for him? Therefore, seeking him within, stop seeking all that which is out. Focus on his presence in me, in this little heart. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. Sannihite Kale Samprapte Nahi Rakshati. Dukkhankarani is a representation of all the outer world. Therefore, Tyaga. This is the call by all the acharyas of Bhaja Govindam, Paramacharya Adi Shankara and all his shishyas who have given these shlokas. Call only one. Take a U-turn. With this, the classes on Bhaja Govindam is over. Learning must start again. Alright. So it is worth taking the name of the Bhagavan. You can also learn one shloka every day by heart and go on chanting. While chanting, remember its meaning. With this, I thank you all for supporting. to complete this beautiful text. Next month in February, we will take up Navadha Bhakti from Tulsi Ramayan and with reference to Navavidha Bhakti from Bhagavatam. Both put together we will take up in our next series, February 1st to 10th on Navadha Bhakti. Thank you very much for all your support through, of course, Guru Dakshina and all your interest in learning the Shastra. We will continue to learn until the I, the little I, exists, until it merges with the bigger capital I. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.